What's happening, everybody? I'm Steve, and welcome back to Junkdrummer TV, where I give my initial reactions, my hot takes, my analysis on the drummers of today and yesterday, and maybe tomorrow if I stick around that long. I'm a professional drum teacher and a gigging musician, and I have been for the last 20 plus years. So today we revisit the scene of the original crime because we're going to be watching Lars Ulrich again with Metallica, but this time we're going to be watching them do a quarantine video, which I think is pretty topical. Now, let's get the original video out of the way. I did a Lars Ulrich drum fills reaction video, and it was a supercut of Lars Ulrich blowing clams all over the stage. It was the first video that I ever did that kind of blew up. And it was also the video that I have received the most spirited criticism, if you will. I got so much shit because of that video. I forgot how strong the Metallica simp is, and I probably came off like an asshole in that video. I think that I thought that I had talked about how much I loved Metallica at the beginning of that video that would give me a little accreditation to, if there was criticism that was going to happen, maybe that would give me a little bit of a pass, but it did not. Also, I did look like an asshole for sure, because there was a lot of like snippets of songs that I didn't recognize because I hadn't really listened to Metallica in like 25 years, and I kept saying I don't know this song, and then I had said, well, I only really know the first like 5 records. I know pretty much up until the Black Album, and I'm just a smattering of everything else since then, and I look like a douche, and you all let me know it, and I'm cool with it. But this video showed up in my feed, and I think it's, again, very topical. We as musicians in this quarantine, in order to keep our sanity and to practice our art, we have had to all record in this way. I did a Joe Exotic cover. It's on my channel. Go look it up. I did a drum solo. I did those things out of boredom. So this is Metallica from the quarantine, and they're going to be doing Blackened. Before we get into it, please, everyone, if you enjoy this video, comment, like, and share. Please give me a double tap on the subscription and the notification bell. Please check out my merch table and my Patreon. And let's give Lars another chance, because I did bury him to the moon in that first video. So let's watch Metallica from the quarantine, just like the rest of us do Blackened. Okay. So we're going to get like a stripped down acoustic version of this. Lars does always have great drum faces. I love Robert so much. I know this face. Lars right there. That is, I'm playing to a click track face. When you are recording, and especially when you're recording like this, it has to be to a click track, because they're not doing this live unless they have ISDNs. This is all being slow tracked. I would guess this started with James's guitar vocals to a click, then probably Robert, Lars, and Kirk. So you have to play with the click track, and that right there is a man who is trying to be as focused as possible. James Hetfield looks like my dad. Why does James Hetfield look like Big Steve? This is an interesting arrangement of this tune. It's cool. You know, the original Blackened on And Justice for All is fast as hell. This kind of sounds like what a metal band that's probably full of dads would sound like playing one of their old rambunctious Younger Day tunes. Okay. Is Kirk Hammett getting the Jason Newsted treatment? I can't hear his guitar. And for those people who think that I'm only hearing one side, I have this set to mono. I don't hear Kirk. Man, you know, I really did, in earnest, in the first video, pretty much trash Lars the whole time. But man, he sounds good here. He sounds good here. He sounds real strong in the pocket. You know, there it is, a metronome face. I love Robert. I want to play with him. He can do a lot of stuff too. That dude plays some stand-up. He was in a video with Nickel Creek. I don't know if he was actually on the track of the video he was on. Yeah, halftime. Such a 90s thing, you know, 90s we loved, going from regular time, which I call 2 and 4, to the halftime right there. Man, Lars is playing good. You know, he's playing a lot like Phil Rudd a little bit. Yeah, that's the reason why I wanted to do this video again, because I got a lot of commenters talking about how, like, man, look, there's a lot of videos of Lars fails. The one I just did because it was the longest one. There's a bunch of them. And for all you people out there who talk about, like, you know, Lars's skills are dropping because of his age, I just need to refer you to Nico McBrain and Danny Carey, who are both older than he is. But anyway, some of the commenters in the last video said, hey, you should give him another chance. He's lately, on maybe whatever the last tour was that these people I guess saw, had kicked his game up again. And I'd even found some articles where Lars had said, you know, he just kind of don't practice anymore. And man, as you get older, you have to actually practice more because your body degrades, and you have to make you gotta make up for that with like more diligent work and practice. Man, he's killing it right here. He sounds good. Now, for all you Metallica haters out there, you're going to say, yeah, but it's like a simple drum part. And it is, but it's a necessity for the arrangement of this tune. Kirk, brother, you are not in the mix. I think he pissed off an engineer. There's Big Steve up there in the corner singing with Metallica. That's so weird. Yeah, metronome face. Yeah, man. Go ahead, Lars. I guess probably what you heard in that first video was just disappointment in one of my childhood heroes. As I said at the beginning, I thought I was going to be able to get away with some of the criticism that would precede me talking about how much I love Metallica. This is the best way I can describe how much I loved Metallica back in the day. And I did see this tour. I saw the And Justice for All tour. I think the Cult opened. Don't quote me on that. I was like 14 or 13. I think the Cult opened. This is how much Metallica meant to me back in the day. It was like in Circus or Metal Edge, one of those magazines that we would get and, you know, order your patches out of it, you know, mail order. James Hetfield was wearing a Dwight Yoakam shirt, and based on James Hetfield wearing a Dwight Yoakam shirt, I immediately went out and bought a Dwight Yoakam record. And was like, James Hetfield likes this, and now I'm a gigantic Dwight Yoakam fan. That's how much I love Metallica back in the day, and that's what you were getting from that first video. Please go check that out. Of someone who was just disappointed in what used to be one of the premier drummers. Now, let's be honest, he did not keep up with the next two generations of metal drummers that happened after him, and that's not his fault. You know, those cats grew up with all of that information and built upon it. He is a pioneer. You know, he is a pioneer of metal. So many metal videos we've done on this channel. You know, there's been drum parts, like there's Lars, there's a 25-year-old who's showing his Lars Ulrich influence. And that first video was me just like, man, what the fuck, Lars? How can you be this bad? But right here, killing it. Kirk, you ain't in the mix, bro. I wonder if Jason Newsted engineered this. You know, because the original Blackened goes so fast, you don't really get the lyrical content. You're getting the lyrical content better. These lyrics are really good. Yeah, like Lars is, he plays those. I call them Easton. That's just because I'm old. Those are those ahead drumsticks. They used to be ahead. They're Easton. He's in there a little. Turn him up some. Okay. Kirk has decided to show up. What is that thing beside me? But yeah, like Lars is playing with this nice, like, swingy kind of Rudd feel, and it works for him. I mean, shit, man, he's got to have some ability in there. This guy's played more live shows than just about any drummer of the last 40 years, except for like some jam band. Robert. It's another thing. The first video, I said that Robert is, from a technical standpoint, their best bass player. I know that sounds like I gave disrespect to the almighty Cliff, R.I.P., and to Jason. Those two guys are great. Cliff is the reason that Metallica was Metallica, right? So, I mean, he gets that credit. And Jason Newsted, there was just, I mean, he's just amazing as well. I love his new band, or his band. I found some of those Newsted videos on YouTube. Man, they're great. But, man, just from just a purely technical, being able to do everything on a bass guitar, I stand by that Robert is technically the best bass player. That doesn't mean that he's made the best contributions to the band, but I stand behind it. Like, if you watch Robert play flamenco guitar on that one video, he plays guitar probably better than everybody in the band. Lars does love a cymbal catch. I really want this to have been one take, Lars. I hope this isn't a whole bunch of constructed tracks. And that's become the Lars Ulrich drum fill. Kirk is a little bit in the mix. Seems like maybe the tempo's shifted up a little bit, but Lars might just be playing on top of the click right here. So I wanted to get into this, this quarantine recording. We've all done it now, and I didn't get into it the last time I talked about it. Those of us who had made the conscious decision during their playing career, I've made about 15 or 16 records, so I've done a lot of studio work, and I hate the tech stuff of it. I hate microphones and chords and limiters and gates and compress. I hate all that shit. I hate it. I'm the guy that likes to come in after the engineers have set up everything, and I buy them shots. I don't want to know or didn't want to know about any of that garbage. Then the world almost ends, and I'm stuck in my townhouse, and I want to record, I want to play music. And so I had to learn how to be an engineer. I had to self-engineer a couple of recordings. I have a new recording coming out of me and my internet band doing a Jim Croce song. That's coming next couple weeks. But I had to learn how to record, and I think that's something that's been played out all over the country with musicians at the house. And let's be honest, it's us drummers. We don't care about that. There are great drummer producers, obviously. I've worked with one, and then Butch Vig and cats like that. But for the most part, man, I hate that stuff. I want to just go in recording, here's my money, set everything up, let me put headphones on and play. But I had to do that, and I had to do it for that the Joe Exotic cover that we did, and for, what was that other song we did? Oh, yeah, the Jim Croce song coming up. And this makes us all the same. All of us musicians, we're all making recordings the way that one of the biggest bands in the world makes recordings now, which is quarantined from your house. Hopefully you've got a mixer and an interface, and you have a decent grasp of Reaper, and you can make recordings. The quarantine and the virus has kind of flattened the curve for everybody. We're all doing this now. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, Lars Ulrich making me look like an asshole, which I've never claimed I wasn't, from that first video. Now, I'm going to stand behind everything I said in that first video because there was a lot of clown show shit in that first video. Man, maybe Lars has seen and heard the criticism because, man, it's in circles, it's in metal band circles, and it's in drummer circles that his abilities had slipped, and maybe he decided that that's not a good way to go because, man, that's a solid track. Okay, Metallica detractors. Nope, that's not the original Blackened version, you know, where it's just, you know, super fast, thrash all the way through. It's not anything hard, but man, it was what's appropriate for what we were hearing, and that's what you want. He was killing it. Lars Ulrich sounding like Phil Rudd. James Hetfield looks like my dad now, like a lot like my dad. If I can find a picture of Dad easily, I'm gonna put him right here. And dude, that was a solid performance. As I said before, man, I was that Metallica militia back in the day. Everything up until Injustice for All, and I really did listen to the Black Album a lot. I don't like the Black Album. It's just my opinion. All you people who gave me hate, it's my opinion. You have an opinion, like assholes. But I was obsessed with them. Like I said, I became a Dwight Yoakam fan just because I saw James Hetfield wearing a shirt. So I'm glad to see Lars, you know, performing at a high level again, because he just was. Kirk Hammett, bro, you were in that mix for about 35, 40 seconds. Like, Jason's Revenge. So, there you go. I hope I cleared up my first Lars video. Please go check that out. And again, that's what this quarantine has really showed us is, man, there's no class structure when there's a, you know, virus out there. We all are subject to the same fears and whims of the universe. And again, I've got a recording of myself doing exactly what they're doing, and so many out there has done it as well. We've all become video editors, and we've all learned Reaper a little bit. That's a stark reminder for what we've been through and what it looks like we're going to still be going through a little bit. So with that being said, I hope everyone out there is being safe, doing what you need to do to feel comfortable to operate under these circumstances, and I hope you all well. And Lars, I'm sorry for all of that shitty stuff I said for you in the first video. I stand behind it. If you ever saw it, sorry, you were my hero. You're sounding great, and you sounded great on that recording, man. Fucking A, dude. So if y'all enjoyed all that, please like, comment, share, subscribe, notification bell, and keep practicing until it's easy.